right. As usual, the podcast just starts. We don't really have it. We have the intro of the title thing. Comes in and says, "Hey, we're going to talk about whatever." But then after that, it just starts. There's no intro. We just start talking. We go right into it. So, we don't even say who's on the show. We have little things we put at the bottom, but that's it. We don't.
All right. Let's begin with when was the last time each of us went to the movie theater?
When was the last time each of us went to a movie theater?
Yeah. What was the last movie you saw?
I saw Hobbs and Shaw. That's what I saw.
Ooh,
Hobbs and Shaw.
I saw that too.
Yeah.
I was disappointed.
Now, was it not even at least fun?
Well, it was fun.
Entertaining.
It was entertaining.
I heard that it's kind of boring, for a majority of the film, and it's not like.
When they go to Samoa, it's so.
Yeah, exactly. It was good up to the Samoa part, and then you were kind of like, "Whoa,
no offense to the Samoans, but it was just the raw. I mean, none of it seemed.
Even though he's Samoan, right?
Yeah.
Even though he's Samoan, I didn't think of his character as being Samoan.
Don't they show his tribal tattoo in the movie?
Yeah. They showed a lot in the tattoo. Yeah, you see it,
but it's just not really implied. It's like if he could have been anything, they could have had him be anything.
But he's in a way by doing that, he's kind of showing the world hey, if you see these type of tattoos and his physique, as in just the body type. Yeah. He's Samoan. You should think of that as Samoan. Not
well, when I think of I just think of him as a bodybuilder. Like Arnold, I don't automatically assume.
No, but Arnold, if you look at the body type, not the muscles.
Because Arnold, different. I would believe he was anything. He's played a Russian, he's played a this, and he's played a that.
Yeah, but if you knew Russians, you wouldn't think Arnold Schwarzenegger was Russian.
But that's the problem, I think, is with modern day movies, is they are more about the actor than the actual character. With the new Avengers and the Marvel movies, they seem to have gotten away from what the character was to who the actor is. Like who Robert Downey Jr. is in Endgame is Robert Downey Jr. and not necessarily Tony.
But does that have something to do with what people want to see? Like they enjoy watching Robert Downey Jr. be Robert Downey Jr.? Yeah, but the thing
is, when you watch the first few movies, like Iron Man 1 and 2, and even the first Avengers, totally different guy than who Robert Downey Jr. is. Yeah. Because he being a father and him kind of totally becoming more of a nice guy is very similar to who Robert Downey Jr. is. But it's not quite who Tony Stark is. Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr.'s got a bad past.
Yeah.
Well, well, one they
changed because every character in that movie is the actor.
They took on more of the actor's traits.
Who's Chris Hemsworth, right? All of a sudden they changed him into being this comedian, right? They changed Thor into being Chris Hemsworth. Yeah. And that's what I'm not liking.
Well, Thor's a little. His character is a little
no, because if you watch Thor, he is funny, but it's situational, and it's not really him making a joke. Yeah, he's not funny. The fact that he's a fish out of water, he's very kind of formal, very royal-like. Yeah. That's what made it funny. It had nothing to do with who he was. But as it went on, because he was in the new Ghostbusters 2016. Yes. And when his character gets possessed by the bad guy.
Yes.
Chris Hemsworth is not playing the bad guy. He's playing himself. He's making a parody of himself in the movie.
Well, what you're more talking about there is bad acting.
It's
you
more
watch
bad. It's like
some
bad
actors,
writing, and it's too much relying on improv from the actor.
Well, it's allowing the improv to come through. The director's allowing the improv to happen.
That's true.
And that's what Robert Downey Jr. is really known for. Is
I
really
love Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, well, I put Robert Downey Jr. in the category of Jeff Goldblum, where you can't tell if he's just improvising or if that's in the script.
Well, yeah.
Because even if he's improvising and kind of rattling on, it's still so much detail of the world and the character.
Oh, yeah.
In him in Independence Day and even Jurassic Park, all of his rambles sound like his character.
Oh, yeah.
There's no separation. You know? So I would say, Endgame is a balance between him improving against his character and being in the world at the same time. So you're not really taken out of it, but you're not really. It's like kind of this line,
right?
Know? Yeah, right. Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can agree with that for sure.
Yeah,
I can agree with that.
Yeah. And now Hobbs and Shaw, wouldn't you say a lot of that is The Rock rather than whoever? I don't know if is he Hobbs or is he Shaw?
The problem I had with that was that him trying to be, himself, but it didn't come through like that. In my opinion, it didn't come through like that. Especially in the Samoan part, it just wasn't organic. Like it wasn't. It just
because it wasn't in character. You know?
But I don't know. I didn't like it.
No, you're right. It wasn't. It was checking off a checklist item.
Yeah.
Of, okay, we're going to go to Samoa, and we got to now talk about Samoan.
I think
topics, which is okay, but it's
but
make it organic. Don't make it more.
It was just
like all they had to do was mention it in the beginning.
Yeah.
When he was sitting down with his daughter at the diner.
Yeah.
Instead of just looking at the photo and him going, "Oh yeah, I don't see my brother ever."
Yeah.
They should have, they should have had because the thing is, The Rock produced this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And The Rock is now he's producing more stuff, and if you are to look at the movies he's producing, he has a certain agenda, a certain direction he's trying to push some of his movies, and it's about family, it's about like Samoan stories and Samoan values and stuff. Great, that's fine. And some of the movies that he has done, like what's that one? There's the wrestling one that's out now.
Oh, the one with the kids?
Yeah, with the kids.
Yeah,
that's his. He produced it. He produced the Jumanji films. He's producing that.
Wait, he produced Jumanji? Oh,
yeah.
And then there's another one but doing this one, it felt very inorganic.
Have you heard about the Little Mermaid debacle? They're making a remake, live action Little Mermaid, and they are casting a black actress. A black actress to be the Little Mermaid.
But that's fine.
Yeah,
really.
And this caused a big thing. But acting is acting. So why does it have to be the actual race of the person in order to do it right?
I felt, I get what you're saying, but I felt like in that movie it was supposed to be all about the Samoan culture and all that.
Yeah.
And to me, it just, why not just make it actual
there's
Samoan?
there's really good. See, this is like
it wasn't a lot of acting.
Yeah. This is a good thing to notice because like La Bamba, right? La Bamba, Richie Valens is played by Lou Diamond Phillips, who's Filipino, right? Okay. But you cannot see anyone else doing that part, and you never questioned it, when it came out. So it's like acting is acting. So is it because there's the culture that we live in now is like everything has to be exact,
Well, you have to be on a certain careful to a certain degree.
What's up with your new location, Lea? Your beauty salon.
I was just going to be posting about that today because I'm almost done. I'm almost done. I just had to paint a wall, and they're actually. So when I moved in, it happened so fast, and they had to remove. They had like nails and stuff in the wall from the last person, and so they're fixing that today, so then I could paint, and then I'd be ready to go.
So it's prime real estate where the location is, I'm guessing, right? Where's it located?
Well, it's on Market Street, Market and Telephone. Actually,
so it's like by what would some of the landmarks?
Gas station.
There's a gas station. There's also it's behind where Winco, Burlington Coat Factory, the DMV.
Basically, by the Concrete Jungle Brewery.
It's actually right near there. Like
there
I could walk to it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So have a brew and get beautified by Lea.
Better you than me because you don't want me brewed while I'm doing it. So I was looking up something like a spiritual conference or something.
Right.
And it came up West Haven Spiritual Growth Conference, but it's by West Haven Baptist Church. So
well, you gotta. No. I mean, like you just You gotta go find it everywhere.
How dare a church be spiritual?
Well, obviously, that could be where it could be used in many different ways.
There's a different type of spiritual.
That's kind of weird. It's like this new age contradiction where it's like I believe in spirits. I believe in this. Are you religious? No.
Well,
I don't know who you're talking to.
What do they call alcohol? Wine and spirits.
Yeah.
So can you be all spiritual with your wine and spirits? I mean,
only organic spirits.
Oh my god.
They have a place in Arizona that's real spiritual. It's been
Is it?
It's not Flagstaff.
Yes.
It's God, I can't think of the name.
Not Saratoga.
It's not that salt
It's
when they go into the
A's
salt mines, right? And they had that kind of like meditation.
Sedona.
Yeah, Sedona.
Yeah.
Sedona.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've been up there.
That's the painted area, right? The painted mountains or painted.
It's a nice backdrop.
I think that kind of stuff is really cool.
They have like certain spots there that are like supposed to be super.
You can feel it.
Yeah.
Flagstaff is awesome.
Yeah, Flagstaff's cool.
Dude, Flagstaff and Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for it to cool down over there so I can take a little road trip.
I've seen the Grand Canyon so many times. It is you get tired of it.
Actually, you're tall enough that the Grand Canyon doesn't seem that big.
It's shallow.
He's like, yeah. What's so grand
You're
about
like
that?
2 steps, you're down there already.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, Joey is very, very tall.
He's like 7'2".
We should use it more. I mean, you should be in Hollywood by now.
I'll be the only one standing in this podcast.
There's a guy who does. His name is Doug Jones, and he's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he does a lot of that stuff. He did.
He was the faun in.
Yes. Oh my gosh! Why can't?
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro film, Pan's Labyrinth.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, and he was a Shape of Water.
No, he wasn't him.
Well, he uses him for all the same things.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Maybe it was.
Yeah. I almost went into the Prometheus movie because on Facebook they were advertising that they needed really tall people, but I read really small as you have to be a Australian like native, like you have to like be there. You can't just fly over there and go do it. Yeah.
How would they know? Just go there and be like, "Hey, mate."
Yeah.
Australians are fun.
Yeah. Because I always wanted to be like an alien on the X-Files or something.
Well, that's the thing is, I think you still can be.
But I don't know, like, is it actually ethical? Like, because I'm pretty thin, and I was going to specifically do that because of that. But then, isn't that kind of like an unethical thing that you're casting people based on their?
That's what it is all about. You have to cast.
You need to have a long conversation with George Lucas about using little people. You know what I mean? He's like, dude, I need those jobs.
Yeah. But
Joey, you were built to play a tree.
Casting people that's malnourished. I don't know if that's
And Carl Soto could help you easily turn into a tall alien.
Oh my gosh, we have so much here going on. Like so much talent.
For those that they can't see, Carl Soto, visual effects master in the 805 area, is here in the studios.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a very interesting day.
Yeah. Come join one of the cameras.
Do we have another mic? We do not have another mic.
Or camera.
But you guys could play Siamese twins.
Explain to us a little bit about that Cola Boy concert. I know, heard that it was to help out the pack to gain some money.
Well, I mean, so as far as the pack, they're like in dire needs of funding, and there's like all these plans to try to get different kind of funding sources. But the Cola Boy, the thing about him is he is a revolutionary young artist from Oxnard, but his following started in Paris, France.
Singer?
He is a kind of like imagine like Jackson 5.
Yeah, because I saw that name just recently.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought it was like a big thing. So he's from Oxnard? Or?
Wait, I want to think about what you just said. You
what
thought it was a big thing, but he's from Oxnard?
Because he's from Oxnard, it's not a big thing.
I'm going to leave you with those words.
Yeah. Well, that is exactly the mentality.
I know exactly what you meant, but but that's exactly what the problem is.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's keep the illusion
so he's like
that
big time,
Oxnard
but
is
he's from Oxnard. Okay, all right, so.
Yeah.
Well,
you got to change that energy, right?
What I heard is that there's a lot of bands right now that are representing Oxnard, and we are such a small city, and it's kind of cool.
Not.
Well, I mean, we're one of the faster growing cities there are, but
There we go. know.
We got to keep up the illusion, man.
So, but I mean, there is the other gentleman that ended up playing at PAC and to represent Oxnard also. And I know he was on a late night show.
Anderson.
Yeah. He's big.
Yeah. So I mean, it's kind of cool that a lot of people are representing him, and considering that, you know, the old school way of the 80s was like the nerdcore generation, where that's actually seen throughout the world. I mean, guys in France and worldwide. Yeah. And the Hernandez brothers, the illustrators, are actually from Oxnard,
right?
The old
Love and Rockets.
There you go. And for the comic book people out there. Yeah.
Actually, I moved down the street from where they grew up. Now it's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
by
Woolley Road. Yeah. They went to Haydock, and they also went to Channel Islands, and I think they were class of 73. I may be mistaken, but you know, they still, if you look at their first illustrations of Love and Rockets, they do represent old hardcore stuff because of the flyers and stuff that they had in it. Yeah, it's funny because I went to a comic book convention, and there was a girl who was dressed up like a girl from Jamie from Love and Rockets.
Yeah.
And she had the Nardcore logo on it, but she was from Arizona.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know what that logo is. I said, I know who you're representing. It's Oxnard. She goes, yeah, I'm from Arizona. I love Love and Rockets comic book. And I said, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's totally cool. Yeah.
I think that should be its own podcast right there. Just talking about, everyone comes in with like a list of inspirational, like people that have, quote, made it in the, not just the mainstream, but the bigger scope of
made it outside of Oxford.
Through the out of the you know, the boundaries, let's say, that people, for instance, say, oh, you're just from Oxnard, so you're not all that. And then so the things, I mean, for one, Michelle Saros came to mind, and there's like huge things that are still happening with her.
Right.
So it's just,
because there are artists, there are athletes, there are singers, there are actors, and that we all know, either we all knew them, or we all know of them, that, you know, maybe we weren't in their circle, but we knew of them, of their circle, and we knew, like, okay, yeah.
And then there's that gentleman that recently won the Congressional Medal of Honor, Gunny he was from Oxnard, and he got Congressional Medal of Honor from Vietnam, and he just recently got it, and they just recently named him one of the soldiers who ended up getting it. I just saw it.
Wow, I did not know that. I love Vietnam stories and stuff like that, so that I got to look into that.
Yeah. So Joey, like, you're doing really well, dude. I like how everything that you're working on, your productions, but you're from Oxnard.
Yeah, I'm gonna break out of the mold eventually. Yeah.
What mold?
I gotta keep Oxnard from weighing me down.
I know everybody thinks you're just like a cholo and stuff, right?
Yeah. You know what? That reminds me. What was that movie that was based in Oxnard? The horror. It was like
Animal Activity 4.
Yes,
Paranormal
they were cholos. They represented Oxnard like it was like Cholo town. That was crazy.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, you watch it, you're like, that's
not Oxnard.
It was like Dr. Seuss. Horton here's a cholo.
You're watching it, and you're like they. There's no place in Oxnard where they got that from. Yeah. It's like they drove down 7 different alleys and saw 7 different people and did 7 different assumptions and made that to be Oxnard.
But does anyone know why they did that? Chose Oxnard?
Sometimes they end up choosing like different things. Oxnard is shouted out through different things. It's like, okay, with the here's a funny example. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were supposed to be from New York, right? Okay, there was a video game a while back ago called the Battle Toads. You familiar with it?
Battle Toads,
okay? They were actually characters that were supposed to be from Oxnard, California. So when you watch the cartoon, Oxnard shows up on the cartoon.
Battletoads?
They're representative of the Battletoads because they were supposed to be a takeoff of like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Dude, if anybody finds a link on YouTube, please post it.
Yes. Wow.
We'll add it to this show.
Challenge
so
on.
Interesting. I mean, there have been times where I'm watching a random sitcom or a TV show, and they're like, "Yeah, I just got back from Oxnard," and you're like, "What?" You gotta pause it and be like, "Yeah."
The Big Bang Theory actually mentioned it. Yeah. But they put it in a negative context.
Yeah, in the onion fields of Oxnard.
I was in Oxnard, not in the great part of Oxnard, the onion fields.
That probably was Rose.
No.
Wooly.
Yeah, Rose and Wooly.
That's where the Fields Onions is.
Or like Alf ended up saying that, I'm going to take the PCH all the way up to Oxnard, back in the 80s.
Yeah, it comes up every once in a while in a lot of different
show. Entourage.
Yeah.
Like there was someone going to rehab. Not the rehab in Malibu, the rehab in Oxnard.
Have you seen the Lion King picture of?
Everything in the light touches is Malibu.
Yeah.
What about the shadowy place? That's Oxnard. You must never go there.
Who makes those?
They have a whole
there's
an Instagram.
Oxnard.
Yeah, on the Instagram.
That's actually really
it's
funny.
hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Kind of going off the subject. Did you guys hear about Mr. G's Dia de los Muertos festival that they're having in Camarillo again this year?
Oh, dude, it's yearly. Tell me more.
So Mr. G, for a while he kept saying, "Oh, dude, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to do this anymore." And all of a sudden, last year he ended up kind of taking a hiatus off of it, and then this year he's like, "Hey, man, I'm back. I'm doing it again." So
with a vengeance.
With vengeance.
At the cemetery?
At the cemetery. I can't remember.
He's gonna dress up like Charles Bronson, Dia de los Muertos style. With the vengeance.
Is there like a way to find out more information about that anywhere? Or?
We'd have to look.
Well, probably best is to go to Facebook and look for Dia de los Muertos Camarillo, and then all the festivities should show up. Yep. He tends to have like a flyer out.
Can you write that, like those keywords down, just so that way I know what to add in on the.
Yeah, it's usually on November 2nd, I believe, and it's a good event. They have stuff for kids. They usually have face painting. They've got a lot of Dia de los Muertos stuff, and then they do the procession later on throughout the cemetery, and it's just very cool to see. And it's interesting how Hollywood and I know that. Nowadays, Dia de los Muertos is commercialized, but it's kind of cool to see what the actual Dia de los Muertos is, and it's not a scary thing. It's
celebration.
It's a celebration of your loved ones who've passed on and remembering them.
Yeah, a lot of people confuse that idea of Dia de los Muertos with
Halloween.
Because Halloween's supposed to be scary.
Yeah.
It's what.
A lot of things.
Well, Halloween is
something
really
with pagan.
Yeah.
Going back to the paranormal stuff. You didn't speak to that guy about what's really about Halloween.
So,
or you could go talk to Carl, and Carl created Halloween.
He's the master of Halloween.
He's the master of Halloween.
He went in a time machine and he's like, I want a day where I'm gonna have goblins. Goblins and goblins.
Yeah, I mean, what Julio's talking about is through the special effects company that I do, and I build props and monsters and stuff for the movie industry. So I do make goblins and goblins.
Goblins. That's the new one, goblins.
Goblins.
That doesn't have copyright on it. Goblins.
It would be the next monster movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Goblins. Part 5.
First you had gremlins. Now.
No, goblins are like, they're always on Google. Goblins. What are you doing? Googling. Googling. Google that. Write on it, dude. You got to write on it.
There you go.
Did you guys hear about any other events going on in Oxnard during the fall season?
You know what? I think that, I don't know if it's happening, but I'm pretty sure that Gem and Emerald or Gem and Rubies or Gem and Crystals like conference.
The show, like a show.
Yeah, at the PAC,
those are
which
cool.
is
Yeah, why don't they keep bringing stuff like that to generate income? Like I honestly, I don't know so much of the background of why it's failing.
It happened on the same day.
Just because we're in debt, right?
It happened on the same day that Anderson .Paak show happened last year. So I mean, it was happening, but they were promoting the Anderson .Paak record release party.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But dude, I mean, that's the thing is, Well, first of all, they're trying to be more independent because I mean they're having to go through all these different people. You don't know where the money ends up, to tell you the truth.
No, absolutely.
I mean, I've heard stuff. I mean, who knows what?
Yeah.
But so then they're like I said, they're in the process of trying to change how they do things there, like be more independent. So that way, I think as they become more independent, they're going to be having more people interested in
I believe in that too. Yeah, because I think the moment that we find out, okay, we're done, we're shutting it down, everybody freaked out because you're like, you can't do that. So then I think that's what had to happen is shake it up, and then just transform into something bigger and better. I think when you get too comfortable or something, so everyone's comfortable. We had that's our staple.
Right.
Get comfortable. Oh, it's fine. And then now you just got to make that change.
I think it's like you say, comfortable basically means that the older generations run everything and they hold on to it, and then the newer generations have to be able to go in there and move things around.
I agree.
But everybody needs to step up. Even talking about Mr. Gomez and all the stuff he's been doing as far as like cultural and like awesome social events in the city of or the whole county of Ventura, not just Oxnard. But eventually, Carl's gonna have to take over that. I mean, I'm just saying.
Right?
Someone has to step
exactly.
up and take that over.
You get again comfortable.
Leah's gonna have to take over and do her own like talk show all the time, which is like all these amazing people that we know that are out there, but no one really is giving them the limelight.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
And the great thing about Lea is like you're pretty much international, like as far as like your ethnicity. So you really could bounce around and create bridges for a lot of people that you know what I mean.
I like
that really
that a lot.
help them pop out. Mm-hmm. You could be the female David Letterman.
Thank you.
Actually, David Letterman could be the female Lea.
Yeah, because he's still around. So.
Yeah, he has a whole show on
I
Netflix.
like that.
Yeah,
he does?
Yeah, he does. Yeah. It's just like interviewing one celebrity.
Yeah, it's very in-depth.
It's a nice.
And it's just them two. There's no audience. It's just actually.
There's an audience.
Oh,
there is?
Yeah. He walks out, does a monologue.
Oh, he does?
Yeah,
but they just keep it quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then that's it. Because I've seen. Gosh, I can't remember one of them that I've seen, but when I saw Kanye was on one of them, I was like,
Did he interviewed Obama, didn't he?
Obama,
I was watching him interview Cher. Those are the classics. I don't know if you've ever seen the Cher ones.
No.
Oh, but like Cher is just feisty. He's just feisty, and he's just like, I'm trying to go with it. Yeah, trying to go with it.
Yeah.
But then he finally had like, cause her and Sonny couldn't really talk for like centuries.
Oh yeah.
After they divorced.
For centuries.
No, for centuries. And then finally, like I saw like the later in the 90s when Sonny and Cher were both on the David Letterman show. And he just snuck it in there. He made them sing that song, Babe.
I got you, babe.
And they were just both like, oh, man, we have to stand next to each other. Like, we're in this spot. And David Letterman's like, hey, come on, you're already here.
That's why I love that. I love that guy because he just blurts things out. He just has no filter, and he gets people to say things.
Right.
He creates that environment. It's almost like a Howard Stern.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because everyone always...
With class.
Yeah, with class.
Yeah. Well, at the same time, Howard Stern has matured a lot.
Oh, yeah. No, this is true.
Not the same. I mean,
this is true.
He's Larry King now.
Yeah. Meaning the subjects and the people that he brings. Yeah.
Just the way he's not trying to just reach out
it's not for shock.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he was a host on America's Got Talent now. I mean,
he was
actually, I really liked it. I actually really I feel like I got to know him when he was a judge. I was like, he's human.
Mature. He's a lot more mature. Like he totally there's a whole generation that knows very different people of what
in a different way.
In a different way. Yeah. Like Howard Stern and what's the guy who American Idol? The guy who the British
Simon
guy.
Cowell?
Yeah. Well, because now in American Idol or whatever he's on now, America's Got Talent, he's not as much of an asshole anymore.
Oh.
So there's a whole generation that are like, everyone would cringe. They would wait to hear him say something.
He got older.
He's like, I don't have to be an asshole all the time.
The maturity that they end up getting, and then they end up figuring out that people don't want to watch it. Well, I mean, it's like Eddie Murphy when he first started coming out. He was nasty and everything else, and then all of a sudden now he's doing Disney movies and
Shrek.
Are you Cheech buddy?
All the wise guys. They go softy, man. Yeah. Softy.
Yes, because I don't know. There's nothing really funny. It's more awkward, like a perverted old man is.
Exactly.
Just saying, like,
yeah, it's like, when you're younger, you have to have an edge. When you get, you got to be a softie. Yeah, you just have to.
It's like how all the movies now are like rated PG-13 rather than R. When those franchises were all R.
Oh my God.
Because they're trying to widen out to a larger audience.
Yes.
And that's why a lot of like Pixar movies and Disney films have a lot of innuendo adult jokes in there that are hidden. That way,
because the parents gonna get bored to death watching that stuff. You need that.
Don't they know they're supposed to take their children and just leave them in the theater and just walk away?
That's why Joey's parent.
Yeah.
That's a whole other podcast about just parents.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, PG-13 is not what the PG-13 was when.
Oh yeah.
Right. Exactly. Softy. I'm a softy.
As in horror movies,
you have no goobling.
The horror movies right now, they've gone to the Gooblins. The Gooblins have gone rated R. So the recent movies, they've gotten more dirtier, more disgusting, and everything else.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, as of the PG-13s, since Disney owns practically everything, they have to pretty much watch everything nowadays. But I've seen horror movies that are pretty bad.
Have you guys been to Disney World?
No.
You're on it.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
Disney World, World of Earth.
Oh.
Taking over. Pull back. You're right.
No,
the planet Earth has 2 moons right on the side.
You see, that'd be okay. That's the next Photoshop.
There you go.
That's the next. There it is.
There it is.
There's no
Visit.
point to it, and it is
Disney World.
Disney World.
Coming
Thought-
soon.
yeah.
Disney World 2020 coming soon.
Well, thanks a lot.
Hey, there's
Because I'm gonna
he's
tell
got
you
his little
why.
Mickey Mouse.
When we were younger, we used to watch the Freddys, the Jasons,
Yeah.
and the Halloweens, and everything else. And
Hills
we were
have
like, "Wow,
eyes."
that's pretty gory." But nowadays, it's like
spit in your
a lot of the
grave.
kids are so
Desensitized. Yeah.
Reanimated.
So they see what they see in the violence and everything else on normal TV, on normal cartoons, and they end up, and you wonder why things are going the way they are. Because
Blame Canada.
Because in some cases the kids can't separate the fakeness to reality. I mean, everything we do, and what I explain to a lot of kids is we do everything that isn't rubber and Cara syrup and phony blood and everything else. But nowadays, you see some of these movies, even speaking of Halloween, which is coming up, they have haunted houses where they torture people.
Oh,
you
yeah.
sign a release and you get tortured.
You sign a release, dude.
And you get tortured, and it's just like, no, that's not what Halloween was about. That's
a good little scare.
But to be tied up and
what about
dunked in
tickling
water
the belly button? Is that pushing it too far?
Tickle the belly button.
Terrifying. They're tickling my belly button. They do have those escape rooms. And there's one in Hollywood on Hollywood Boulevard, and you start in handcuffs.
Right.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
I'm telling you, they're in your, and so then therefore it's even heightened. I don't know. I'm going to Halloween.
I've seen them where they've like dunked people in water. They've like put phony vomit on them. Dump blood and stuff.
Just
them.
Google extreme haunted houses. Google it.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know what these people are looking for. I love haunted houses and I love being scared.
I think what it is, it's quasi people who are into S&M type of ish. Hey.
And it's just becoming a little more acceptable. A little more
They're
acceptable.
Money too.
They're there just to satisfy people like fetishes.
I have a torture fetish, and I'm going to charge.
An article, Extreme Haunted House inside the real life kingdom of masochists.
Dun,
Yeah.
Dun,
Oh, wait, that's actually something that happened in real life. Never mind. Let's look at
Another thing too is you have the owner standing there with the video camera recording all of this.
Oh yeah.
It's just
and
like
then they're putting it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're wondering if this guy's just getting his jollies off just doing this, and it's just like,
Ew.
no, this isn't Halloween. This
No.
isn't haunted houses. No. Yeah, that's pretty gross.
Oh, it's gross.
I miss the days when there was, all you had to worry about
you
was a
want that
little
to happen to you?
razor
Look up
blade in
World's
your
Fair
apple.
Hotel.
Those are the good old days.
I like Hollywood Horror Nights.
House.
Place is cool.
Murder Hotel.
Murderville.
World's Fair. It's like back in 1920 or something.
Choke my.
What did you Murder Hotel? What?
Murder Hotel World Fair.
Yeah.
It's a real case.
They've actually closed down a couple of those because they ended up finding out
stuff
what.
through my head
Murder
right there.
Castle. H.H. Holmes.
Yeah, H.H. Holmes.
If you have any torturous, murderous fun houses we should go and visit, please put it in the comments.
Yes.
We'd love to
I will
take
not
a
visit
little.
it. I have a problem with horror houses. Oh, I like physically me.
Wait, you have a
Horrors?
problem with what?
Horror houses.
Horror.
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 Oh, is that what you did when you lived in
Wow.
Vegas?
I know. Everyone
What goes
calls them
on in
strip
Vegas?
clubs. I call them horror houses.
What goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Well,
Stays in the Vegas desert.
about 3 feet down.
So what do you not
So you
like?
were saying?
Oh yeah.
No,
what were
I
you
was just saying because I get way too scared, and I overreact, and I think I would actually.
How
What-
many actors have you killed, Lonnie?
I haven't killed any,
so you've
but I've
actually
injured a couple.
Would you
Oh,
scream like a
wow.
Yeah.
girl?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Just lash out.
Yeah?
Just
Would you
lash
pee?
out.
We were at the, how they had the
See,
haunted.
you
They,
gotta
they
wear
used to do
diapers. They make them
the
wear diapers.
fairground?
the fairgrounds, the haunted thing there.
Factory
And
of
I
Terror.
went with our sister, our older sister.
Factory
and,
of
and
Terror.
the guy came out with a chainsaw. It's a chainsaw. There's no real chainsaw. It's just the sound.
Yeah.
Right?
He's a big guy,
I
though.
got so scared. I'm a big guy.
No, he was a big
Oh,
guy.
and he was a big guy.
Yeah.
I picked up my sister and ran right through the crowd.
My mom?
Yeah, your mom. Ask her about it. Ran right through the crowd, knocked over people, just knocked them out of the way, and went like 3 sections over before I stopped and realized it's fake.
Well, it's just
whatever.
They take the chain off and-
No, I think I picked her up because she was just
Wait,
in my
wait.
way.
Wait.
And it was like how a truck picked up somebody. It's just,
A snowplow, just going and she got
If
caught.
I know Lonnie, this is what Lonnie was thinking. The guy's an actor, but Lonnie's thinking, what if
what if
he
he's
had a
not
bad
an
day
actor?
and he said, you know what, I'm going to put a chain in this chainsaw tonight,
Yeah.
and I'm going to get the first guy that walks in.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
How many movies are made of that? There
Yeah.
are quite a few movies that have that.
Yeah.
That's
We're also pretty big guys in here. As of going into haunted houses, for me, I'm 6'6", about
Oh, yeah.
240. I'll usually end up having the people end up running up to my feet, end up looking up and kind of just walking away. Or walking around me. They don't try
Yeah.
to scare me. They just kind of look
Oh yeah,
up
they're
at
like,
me.
And they don't want you to get frightened too
Yeah.
much and push them away or something, and they're like, I didn't mean it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they just kind of walk away.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, come on, I want to be scared.
Yeah.
Have you found it is like those places are made for people under 5'8".
right.
Anything above that, they're kind of the things
Not
aren't
only
tall
that,
enough.
but
Yeah.
the sets, the
I've had
sets
those in
are
the
all
mazes.
tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, because have you had where you go through and they have these walls? It's just like a latex wall,
Right.
and they push on it. But when you walk through, you're like looking above.
Yeah. It's too low.
I can see you pushing.
Yeah.
It's meant.
It's
It's
a
meant to be.
mini haunted house.
It's a mini
Aw.
The world is small.
Aw, little Barbie
For,
dolls.
for us, they are.
Yeah, for us, yeah,
It is easy being green.
it is.
For us,
tall.
they are. I always had that problem going into stores too. You always end up seeing all the crap that they end up throwing out that with the fixtures.
Yeah. It's supposed to be
By Woolworth.
Oh, haunted house.
So anyone want to make a film? Anyone writing?
Well, sort of me and Lonnie are, I discussed with you.
There's quite a few things in the works. Yeah.
But I'm coming up with an idea of a kind of a modern retake of Roger Rabbit, and it's called, right now the working title is Roger Robot, and it's basically robot stuntmen, and it's in a world where all the robots we've ever seen in a movie are all
Real.
actual robots. They're not people in suits or anything. But like as history has gone on since the beginning of like the early like Lost in Space kind of robots, those were just very mediocre.
Even
kind
like
of, like they could only say one thing and they could only move. So they kind of just try to get parts here and there, but they could only be themselves. But when you get to the more later kind of futuristic times, the robots became actual stuntmen because like Disney actually has
in real life right now they actually have real
these, like, robots that are actually able to move and be stuntmen and they fling them around.
They can't run, but you could throw them in the air and it looks like someone's actually jumping.
But they don't have to.
Yeah. Well, but what did you discover though, about Roger Rabbit?
Oh,
remember the original.
Okay, so Roger Rabbit was based on a book that was based on comics, like the Sunday comics that are hand drawn.
Yeah.
And the characters in the comics, they are like kind of like models, so they would pose for the comic. And so every time they would talk, a bubble would pop over their head. But in the real life, when they would walk around, they would have bubbles, and every time a bubble happens, they just keep falling on the floor. And it was like, and then the models who were for these comics were the model. But if the comic had to do something that was like a stunt and fall, they had another stunt comic character. But what happens is the actor model frames his stuntman, right? Which is the Roger Rabbit that we know.
Yeah.
But the stunt one is like when you create them, they only are around for like 48 hours or something, and they just kind of disappear.
Yeah.
So basically, there's this time limit to unframe them and get the real killer. And so
that's where Quentin Tarantino got it from.
Yeah, yeah.
God dang it. But, he takes it from everywhere.
The movie Roger Rabbit kind of changed it to where there is no stunt person.
Yeah.
But so I was telling Lon his idea. Well, I've changed it. Now they're stuntmen. But then when I found out the original story was literally what I just came up with. You know.
So you came up with what they had originally made.
And they
damn them. Sue them now.
But the cartoons in that world were sort of it was kind of a metaphor for like slavery. So the cartoons were actually on the train tracks, making the train tracks, and back in the 30s and all. Yeah. So that's how I was having the robots be actually like
creating it.
Yeah. So it was literally becoming the same story. So as I literally just got the script of Roger Rabbit, and I've just been changing lines, and a lot of the lines I'm just leaving exactly the same because it's very similar and it has this exact same tone.
Are you planning on doing this animated or
no,
live
it's
action?
No, it's got to be like a live action kind of thing.
With animation.
Yeah.
Like the style.
We can get access to like computer graphics for some of the characters, but a lot of them, if it's like a C-3PO or something, you got to have a guy in a suit. So.
Yeah. So that should be fun.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
No, you go. You're more.
So you working on anything, Julio?
Nope.
No,
not at all.
Nothing right now.
Damn thing, dude. I'm never gonna work on another thing.
Another thing?
Just
what about
chill, dude?
No, crackhead zombies.
Crackhead zombies, dude. The world is one big crackhead zombie. that's what I'm talking about. Well, like I mean, the thing is there's plenty of stuff on TV. There's plenty of stuff at movies. There's people every day going, I'm gonna make the next film.
Right.
So I'm allowing them all to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You did
maybe later. When everybody gets tired of making movies, then I'll be all right. You guys done playing? Can I get to work now?
You did a movie a while back ago that was a Roadkill. Roadkill, dude. Half of the crew from Roadkill is in this. Yeah. And really, once again, I would talk shit about Tarantino, but I'm a big Tarantino fan too. We were doing a kind of like a grindhouse in Ventura County, finding locations that were like kind of like a timeless, could have been the 50s, 60s, or 70s kind of feel. Trying to eliminate all the modern technology like cell phones and computers and all that.
Are you talking about Roadkill or Crackhead Zombies?
We're talking about Roadkill.
Roadkill.
Crackhead Zombies was something we did. We were bored at a friend's house, and his house was like all kind of Victorian looking. So we're like, let's do a quick little zombie movie about zombies who become zombies by smoking a lot of crack.
Wasn't that the best kind of days? Just like, I'm bored. Let's make a movie right now.
Well,
I liked it.
We gotta go. The thing is, I see. Okay, like I'm clowning about not making films anymore, but it comes in waves, dude.
Right.
I mean, it really does. Like, there's life, and then there's like your intentions of the things you want to do.
Well, it's the inspiration that you end up carrying. You get inspired of seeing a certain movie, of seeing a certain thing, and it's like, hey, okay, I'm ready to do a movie now. But if not, then it's just like everybody has a cell phone, everybody's shooting movies, everybody's taking pictures, and it's just like overwhelming. with what's going on right now. I mean, people shoot movies right now with their cell phones, and it's just like, okay, it's up there. But now, to do a proper movie, you have to be able to be prepared and to have a decent story and have a decent crew and
all that takes you doing it over and.
I've gone to other cities, I can't remember where I was, but I was in another city. I was traveling, and the stand said Oxnard strawberries. I'm like, pull over right now. There's nothing better than an Oxnard strawberry. I
thought Oxnard strawberries were like hipsters from Oxnard. Is that what they call them nowadays?
well, you end up talking to people out in LA too, and then you end up talking to the people out in LA, and they're like, where do you live? Oh, I live in Oxnard. Oh, yeah, the strawberries. Yeah. Where is Oxnard? It's between Malibu and Santa Barbara.
So they imagine all these cholos
like
picking strawberries.
Yeah. Of course, right? Yeah.
We just live in the fields.
Honestly, but for me, I think there's a good mix of people. Like it's that's how I see it. There's like real cultured in Oxnard, and that's what
cool
I like.
Mix of people.
A mix.
Mix. Mix. There is a cool mix of people. I agree.
There's Asians here too.
Yes.
Well, there's a lot of, what would you say, diversity. It's interesting learning from all the different cultures that we have in Oxnard too.
Yeah.
You know,
that's definitely something that it has coming from parts of LA. There are like entire cities that are just one, 95% one ethnicity, and you come over here and it's like, no, it feels like there's a lot of one or a lot of the other, but when you look around, like, no, there's not a lot. It's pretty even, they're in their own pockets here and there and there and here, and it.
It's almost like mini. Well, because in Los Angeles, oh my gosh, there's so many different. That's a huge melting pot, and that's That to me is really beautiful. I love that. But yeah, you're right.
The other thing about Oxnard is, we're not dealing with the hustle and bustle of LA.
Oh yeah.
It's so we're
laid back, man.
We're laid back, man. We have such being able to kick back. I personally work out in LA. I get called out to help build stuff, and one of my bosses were always asking me, hey man, why are you so laid back? Why? I said, I go out to LA and they're busy with, okay, we got to park here, but you can only park here for 50 minutes, and you can't. After that, you got to move your car, and everybody's running around. Okay, we got to get food. That's 3 miles down, and you got to.
Yeah.
And I get over there, and I'm just so laid back, and I get in, and my boss is like, why are you so laid back?
Like, what's wrong?
And it's like, because I don't live here. I live in Oxnard. I go to the beach.
I'm just at work right now.
Yeah.
When I go home, this is all gone to me. I don't understand. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Carl is a chillest, though.
Oh, yeah. Just in general. I don't think it's the area. I think it's just in general you're chill. Yeah. But because when I'm driving from Cerritos to here, and I have to, you go
Soto Square. Oxnard.
And but like, I pay attention because I have to drive like sometimes through the cities because of the freeway being packed because of LA, and like you'll drive 10 miles, right, and you look around and it's just packed and everything 10 miles there, and then you come here and you can drive 10 miles in some areas and not see another freaking person. Let alone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of the areas, or even 10 miles you go through like a neighborhood, but it's not a packed neighborhood. It's
stretched out.
It's all stretched out. It's all kind
of.
But
I keep describing Oxnard recently as like a little LA because we have so many like condominiums and places that are popping up.
That's like everywhere.
And you go down like Rose Avenue and stuff. It's just everywhere you go, you gotta like really plan to go, and you gotta know where you're going because there's so much traffic that you can't get over.
It's gotten ridiculous.
This is true.
And I do not remember that.
Just wait till next Christmas.
Well, yeah, they're built.
Because like that's when all the traffic happens. But now that they have all those new homes, those top.
Oh yeah,
I mean all that, dude. It's gonna be insane.
11 a.m. and that freeway is. You're like, where is everybody? That is true. Yeah. It is bad. It is so.
Why go to New York?
With all the building and everything, we're probably eventually going to be connected to LA.
Oh yeah, like it'll just connect right. Yeah. It'll all be one long city.
Sponsored by gentrification.
They're not doing that. There was going to be an underground thing, and that got halt.
Oh yeah, no, we were just talking about
the buildings.
The buildings, like when you drive through the valley and you go from one city to the next. There's it doesn't change.
What is talking about?
There was a proposal for like underground traveling.
The boring company stuff they were gonna do, or
this was Gavin Newsom was trying to.
Yeah.
Almost like an underground subway.
Let's just pretend that hasn't happened yet, because there's a good chance that's already there. And,
cut.
Yeah, put a little.
Yeah.
Sponsored by
that whole part is just bleeped out. That's
I heard something that like in Ventura, there's all these like underground like tunnels and stuff.
Maybe.
So someone was telling
let's just say that you've heard about a good movie.
Yeah.
Where it's set in Ventura.
Yeah.
And there's like all this underground reptilian people that are running shit. That's it's a movie, right? It's a sci-fi, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And then there's all these evil people who are running the city next door to Ventura.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've heard of that movie.
Carl, you worked on that movie, right?
Yeah. Right.
You did the special effects for that movie. Right? You made the lizard people.
I made the lizard people.
Yeah. Exactly.
That the leader of that lizard people. With that orange wig he had. That was a trip. That was a trip.
Are you telling me that all aliens are just costumes?